Howdy there, folks. Just gotta do a fast blast, get this out there, because this is some hot stuff here. The BDS movement, boycott, divestment, and sanction movement against the Israeli occupation of Palestine and the brutal humanitarian crisis that Israel is unleashing has been pressuring the security company G4S for months now to withdraw their security contracts from Israel. Now we have in March 10th, not that long ago, G4S has actually pulled out. Now, here's the kicker. G4S shares drop by 282 million after reports Omar Mateen was an employee. Now, this isn't the first time that Israel has had an issue with a country or a corporation and has committed a terrorist attack against it. Or rather, coincidentally, there was a terrorist attack that soon followed. Links to both of these articles in the description, as well as links to evrn.net. Come by, check out what we're all about, and consider RSVPing to Wednesday night's show. We'll be discussing this as well as plenty of other subjects. Also consider following us on our various social media. Find that in the description. We had the Paris attacks. Those were in response to, not as the narrative would have you believe, airstrikes committed by France in Syria, because they're not the only fucking aggressors in Syria, but the vote that France had cast on a resolution in the UN to put more pressure on Israel to, I don't know, abide by international laws. So again, we see the Zionist overlords slapping a corporation on the wrist, slapping people on the wrist for daring to go against the narrative, for daring to even slightly harm Israel. Now there's mountains and mountains of information out there that leads you to the conclusion that CIA/Mossad, along with mountains and mountains of US war machinery bought with US tax dollars, created ISIS. It's when these people do something, it's rarely for one reason. They're bringing more attention to the, oh my god, the gays, they're so oppressed, rather than looking at actual oppressed groups in the world, making the gun control argument seem more credible, and making the misandrist movement that is on the rise, the hatred of men, and the demonization of our very nature and being, and also just to scare the shit out of people. Check in my channel a few videos back. I have laid out a prediction, possibly a terrorist attack to take place in the Euro 2016 Championship, which is underway and will conclude on the 10th of July. I placed this terrorist attack at the end of June, early July, of course. Why is that? To, well, scare people away from traveling to Brazil for the Rio Olympics. And there's an interesting story behind why the controllers, the Illuminati or what have you, would want to put a stop to the Rio Olympics. Check out the video. I could blabber on and go down many different avenues, but now you've got a little bit of the puzzle, actually the keystone of this false flag. I was very reluctant to believe this. Very reluctant to believe that this was faked. These days it's safe to err on the side that maybe these things are real. But my own wife has finally convinced me there's something very sinister about the Orlando terrorist attack. Stay tuned. See you on Wednesday.